and welcome to Gamepad Inc. This is a video companion to our game review webcomic. I am Nate.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're playing Thumper!
Yes! You know I'm a huge Disney fan. I loved Bambi, and I thought Thumper was one of the best characters and most memorable Disney characters to date. So when I heard we were playing this game, I've been so excited!
That's right. Welcome to the first game about the overactive rabbit from...
That's right.
Bambi, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Classic.
Nick. Now, let no one ever doubt your dedication to the Disney world.
That's right.
So this is not about
weird.
the rabbit, surprisingly. This is a
No!
rhythm game. Yeah, we're gonna... I've actually beaten this game at this point, but I want to give you a little demo of what this game looks like, Nick.
Yeah, I really know nothing about this game.
No?
No. I mean, I've heard, like, it's definitely been making the rounds and people have been talking about it, but... that I know very little. Well, holy smokes!
Well, this is it. We're in the game already. I'm just going to show you guys I'll show you Nick real fast, like just the beginning of the game, kind of walks you through the basics of it. We are this little weird scarab beetle creature.
Like a beetle?
On this track here, and those little flashes of light coming at us are beats that we have to hit. So I'm hitting
Naturally.
A when that comes when we kind of overlap. And that's the game. There's a bunch of other stuff that pops up.
Good lord, it's moving so fast.
Oh, dude, this is nothing. This is nothing. It gets really crazy. So I'll show you guys the basics here, and then we'll go into some of the later things. I've actually been playing this game.
I gotta say though, like the first thing that's sticking out is like it's got a really cool vibe, but that 1, 2, 3, and then the A button, the way it looks, is just sticking out like a sore thumb. It looks terrible.
It's just the tutorial to kind of get you started.
Oh, okay, so it takes that away eventually?
Yes. After this level,
okay.
all that stuff goes. Well, I think when it introduces like a new mechanic, it shows up and then it quickly disappears. So.
Okay, that makes it a little bit better.
That's it. So you'll also notice the soundtrack. I hope you can hear it. It's like this thumping bass and just drum beat. It's not
Nick,
like...
is that why they call it Thumper?
You know what? I had never put two and two together, Nick, until now.
You're welcome, audience. This is the great content that Gamepad Inc. brings to you.
We're here for those great insights.
That's right. That's right.
So we just kind of do this until you get through the levels.
Oh, God, don't go into that eyeball.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Every kind of level, there's like 9 of them or something in the game. Every kind of level has a bunch of different segments. Each segment's broken up by that little eyeball thing you just saw us go through, which is kind of like a gate, like a final gate that breaks up the segments. The game gets crazier, more hectic as we go along.
This looks like it's also like just visually like this. They're distracting you and kind of throwing all this stuff at you to throw you off your game, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you break this game down, it's really simple, right? It's like a lot of things like it's basically a music game, but with only one track instead of, Guitar Hero where you got like 5 tracks coming at you.
Sure.
It reminds me a lot of like Bit Trip Runner. I don't know, did you ever play Bit Trip Runner or the Bit Trip series at all?
Very briefly, yeah. But that's like a side-scrolling, right?
It is, but it's the same kind of thing where it's like Bit Trip Runner is a side-scroller platformer, but basically you're just hitting buttons in the specific sequence you need them to. Which actually, now that I say it out loud, sounds like every game you've ever played in your like that's what every game
true.
actually is. But
like make sure you hit the jump button before you fall in the pit.
Right, but Bit Trip Runner
novel.
basically boils it down to those like very specific inputs at these very specific times in this very specific sequence is the only way to progress. And this is the same thing. There's a little bit of flexibility here where Bit Trip Runner you would basically die if you fail. Oh, I messed that one up. And sometimes here in this game, it's well timed. Maybe I meant to do that. In this game, if you miss 1 or 2 things, depending on what those things are, you'll actually survive and just be fine. But it's a music game, if you can't tell, because when you perform different actions, they kind of tie into the audio. Just like Bit Trip Runner, to be honest. Maybe a bit more like something like... oh, God, Nick, what was the... Rez, that's the game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I have to say, like, it's pretty cool how it's just focused, and it kind of reminds me almost of like those you know, back in the day, like the iTunes visualizers and things like that, like different visualizations on music. Like the stuff that's going on in the back is pretty weird and trippy.
Like
it's almost like a screensaver. Like you're just kind of zoning in or zoning out, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You just
kind
of
the old like Winamp,
get the feel for the game.
Visualizers.
Yeah, totally. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this game definitely gets kind of trippy on you for sure. And the other thing is, I've been playing this game mostly in VR.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I'm not playing on VR today, but most of the time it's in VR, and I'll tell you that becomes a even more trippy experience when this is just like all surrounding you.
Well, especially when you're moving at this kind of speed, man. It's like, that'd be hard to get out of.
Losing your lunch a little bit?
Well, no, just coming out of it, it's like, man, you've just been traveling at like 100 miles an hour.
It's true, that's true.
The last 45 minutes or however long.
Yeah, in this like weird, hellish, David Bowie-esque like nightscape.
Speaking of which, is there any real story here, or is it you just press the button and now you're just in it?
Did you miss the part where I said you're a scarab on the music track? Because I mean that's the story. I think that's you're bypassing the rich lore of Thumper, Nick.
Okay, so there is no explanation as to what that even means.
I mean, you say potato,
or
I
why?
say potato. Okay, well, I think you got the basics though. I don't think we're almost to the end of this first level. We'll go through a full first level, and then we'll give you a slice of what some of the later stuff is.
Are there other like modes and things like that, or is this basically the crux of the gameplay?
This is
multiplayer or anything?
There's no multiplayer. This is pretty much it. We'll go back to the main menu here and we can take a look. I think there might be like some like time attack or something.
Sure, like different challenges.
Yeah, but I've not dug into that stuff, to be honest.
Global leaderboards or something, I'm guessing.
Say again?
Some leaderboards.
There's definitely leaderboards. This game came out, a couple years ago now. So there's some really high scores on those leaderboards that I'm nowhere near. But it is a challenge later on, especially.
Good God, dude! I don't even think I could play this level.
You think so?
It's like a big chaos.
It is. It's like there's a lot of pun intended here, noise on the screen, right? Like.
Yeah.
That you're just trying to have to see through, and as part of the challenge, especially later on, they kind of hide pieces from it until it's right up on you.
Oh, God.
They up the difficulty on that stuff. You'll see.
And when you play it in VR, you're using like a regular like Xbox controller or something, or are you using actual...
I was using my touch controllers
with
the Oculus, but it's basically the same thing. You can use the Xbox controller if you want. There's something special.
Because you're just pressing buttons.
Yeah, it's not like you're doing motions or anything like that. It's not even first person. Like you're still kind of the same viewpoint. You can just look around.
Oh, okay.
So here we go. Here's like a mini boss, basically. I think we have to do a couple things in a row.
This can't be good.
To knock him out here and progress.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, it's like these are the points where it's like where the green lights are. It's if you screw it up, you gotta basically restart the pattern. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not too unforgiving, but
it's just pretty brutal.
Just the perfect amount.
I'm making a lot of more mistakes than I would if I was playing with myself because I'm trying to talk to you right now, but.
I like the colors in this thing though. It's like everything's super subdued until there's like these bright flashes and things that coincide with the music. It's pretty cool.
It's definitely mesmerizing and a cohesive look, right? Like it works together. I don't know that I would say it's like a relaxing look or anything like that.
It's such a weird style though.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Here we go. Here's like the first level's boss.
Bravo.
And pretty much every level's kind of the same like this, but increasing difficulty.
I can see that.
A bit new variety of levels and stuff.
So does it feel like after the nine levels you said that are in the game that it's a relatively complete game, or does it kind of seem like just like a little mini arcadey kind of game? What the heck?
Hey man, look, this guy looks totally normal, right?
Oh God, that is terrifying.
It reminds
me like the stuff that nightmares are made out of.
You know who he reminds me of?
Will haunt you.
Reminds me of like Andros from like the final boss of Star Fox.
Huh.
Where you were like
I do
fighting.
Not remember what that looked like.
Oh, you don't? It's like it's you and your little starfighter attacking a giant floating ape skull.
Wow. Well, maybe maybe it's a reference. You know.
Maybe that was
How strange.
I think that was Star
It
Fox.
looks
It
like
might have
some
been-
sort of weird, hellish demon skull. So,
Certainly is.
Pretty similar.
So I gotta. When you see those turns, I obviously gotta like turn and time with them. There we go. We beat him.
Nice.
Showed him
Nice.
who's boss.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo. Whew.
We'll dig into one more
Incredible.
level here. Give you a sense of look at all those S's. God, I'm so good, Nick.
So special. You're just so special.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go too far in because it gets there's some cool mechanics later on in the game that I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
But we can show this, I think. Also, it's been a little while since I played this game. I don't want to. Oh, yep. See, I'm already screwing it up.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of game where it's all
Okay,
about
that's-
getting a feel for it.
I think there might also be, not to make an excuse here. I think there might also be some delay being built into this screen when I'm recording this video.
Oh, versus VR.
Not versus VR, but just naturally. So I don't know. Maybe that's part of the. I'm gonna try to hit the buttons a little bit earlier than I
That
normally would.
is a very convenient excuse.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Good cover.
So you can see I got to like press up in some of these areas now.
Yeah. Man. And you could play this game theoretically with mouse and keyboard.
Theoretically, I'm sure. I don't think you'd want to.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a little tough.
So you can see this gets a little bit crazier, right?
Yeah, a little bit. This looks insane. It looks like you're going faster too. Is it?
Yeah, I've actually been doing some more advanced stuff where I can kind of chain together, like 'cause you can kind of fly up there, and if you can land down on a different note, you can like power yourself up, increase your score, actually get some health back if you've
Good God.
lost it. Oh God, it's hard to do this and talk.
I can't imagine doing this. Period.
Oh boy, I missed a bunch right there.
It's so
Whew!
such a simple game, really.
Yeah.
But when you strip away all the visuals, and I mean, if you
Oh.
could see these things coming for a while, I guess it'd be a lot easier. But they make it pretty tough. Just the speed is nuts.
Imagine it in VR too, where it's just like all surrounding you. I screwed up there, so
don't-
that little like circle
that's
bracelet
crazy.
thing that surrounds the track here in a second.
Yeah.
If you make any mistake during this period while that thing's active, he will
Zaps ya?
zap you.
Oh my God. Okay, that's pretty unforgiving. No thanks.
Oh. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
God. Oh.
So they call this
Man,
game.
that's cool though. This tunnel.
I think the makers of the game call this rhythm violence.
Yes.
You see why
So
now?
violent. I don't really know that I get that. Rhythm
God.
violence? Like,
You should play it.
who's
You tell me
getting
after you
hurt?
play it if you think it's violent or not.
Yeah.
Whew. So you saw there were like multiple tracks actually you could be on.
That was cool. Yeah.
It's like, do you remember that game, Frequency, Nick? Or Amplitude?
That sounds really familiar. Was it like a racer or something like that?
No, it was a music game that kind of preceded, it's from Harmonix. It preceded, like, Guitar Hero craze
Guitar
of the
Hero
day.
and stuff? Huh.
You and I played it back in
No,
the day,
I-
like for PS2, I think.
Okay.
But you're on, like,
I don't recall.
a track, like a multi-track thing where you're, like, kind of like this. But there's
But you're hopping
multiple-
left and right and stuff?
Yeah, it's like, and each track represents a different instrument. And you're trying to,
Okay.
like, lay all the tracks together. Like, for basically each bar or each measure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool game. Reminds me of this at times.
Yeah. Well, certainly also just the, I mean, like any of those music games that you're just kind of on this endless track going forward, and hopping in different directions. But this seems a lot more more dimension to it. Like you're doing these up things and these combos, and it's not just kind of bouncing left and right.
Does it make you want to play it?
Nope.
No.
I mean, in general, I'm not a huge fan of these games. Like, I think they're fun to try out a couple times, but like, you know, the sort of unforgiving, bang your head against the wall type of thing is just not my style. Like, I'm not that invested enough into it to like want to persist and get better and better at it.
Yeah, you see, you and I differ on
That's
that.
cool
Like,
looking though.
I like the kind of, you know, prove your mastery, learn the skill, and show it off.
Yeah, I get it.
Kind of games.
I get it, but I'm like, man, I'd rather go do something else. Or play something else that has a narrative or something.
Like take a nap.
Be a little more memorable. There you go. That sounds good. Oh, you can't really take a nap after a game like this. My God. It's
No,
like
man,
you
you're
are
amped up.
Whew. Yeah, just like nerves totally shot. It's got some great sound. I mean, obviously, if it's a music game, it needs to, but there's some really cool stuff.
They do some cool stuff too. Where like, I'm not enough of a music guy to know really what this means, but I know like the time signatures are different every track based on the number of the level.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost. I imagine we're almost to the end here. I hope my fingers are hurting.
Oh, that's great.
Well, next time I die, we'll call this good. Or
yeah. God, these colors are so good though in here. This is a beautiful looking game.
Oh man, I missed a bunch of that stuff.
It's very unique, like super memorable, I think. I just want to know why the heck, like, you're this weird little beetle thing.
I like how you even like to turn this into a narrative game.
Yeah.
What's my motivation?
What does it mean?
What are we? Where are we? Oh, we're nowhere near completing this level.
No.
Okay, well that's
okay.
You got the basics here, Dick. I'm gonna play this a little bit more before we have our little podcast discussion, but when we finish this game, we will do a webcomic review of it and post it at GamepadInc.com, so you can check that out along with every other game we play. Don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube. I can't believe I got through this whole entire outro and still play the game at the same time.
That's very
Nick,
impressive.
If I were you, I'd be impressed.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
No, I'm going to jinx it. Yep, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.